X marks the spot. It certainly does here at A&B. We are, of course, on the DMG MORI stand, and X is the centre of their booth. And why is that, Paul?
Well, it's machining transformation. It was something that they started talking about at EMO last year, and this year again it's a further extension of that. And of course there's 4 pillars to it, which you'll be able to see on this stand when you're here, and we'll get on camera. They are process integration, digital transformation, and then there is automation, and there is green transformation. And all of these go together to obviously improve processes and give their customers much better productivity, much better control, so many aspects to it.
They are pioneers in the machine tool world, and I do think they like to tell a story, don't they? When you come to their booth, it's about telling a story. It's not just about the machine tools, but it's about looking over after the whole machine shop.
Yeah, the whole process. And I mean, over the course of the next few minutes, we're going to take you around a few of the world premieres. There is actually 5 here this week, but we're going to look at 3 or 4 of them. But before we do that, how was yesterday?
Oh, yesterday was good. I enjoyed it. It's a really busy event, and you can see that just by the people around. There's a good vibe here, there really is. There's a lot of people excited to see technology. We always know people are going to bring out the latest and greatest tech, but I think we're a little bit spoiled though, Paul, because we do get to see it, but we've got to appreciate that not everybody gets to come to fairs like this.
No, absolutely. I think yesterday for me, I spent a fair bit of time in halls 1 and 2 and 3 looking at work holding and cutting tool solutions. One of the things that stood out to me was the fact that a lot of the work holding solutions that I was looking at have now got, well, there's nothing that hasn't got a robot associated with it or interface to it. So it seems to be that there is a big leap, and it kind of tends to be every time we come to these shows, but an even further leap into automation.
I'm going to echo that about being on this stand as well, because one of the 4 pillars is about utilising and making the most of a singular machine tool that is capable to do so much, as opposed to saying, yeah, I'll go and buy 7. You buy one that can do so much.
It's right. It's higher utilisation of a single kind of machining centre instead of trying to, or getting a lot less out of a lot of simpler machines. And before we start this tour, highlight for yesterday for you.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. We're there. Actually, I learned quite a lot on fast temps. I did. I was on their stand yesterday, and it was about automating, but I didn't quite realise how much goes into the system and how much now people aren't just looking at the hardware, but the software, about looking after the whole machine shop and taking the manual processes and putting them into scheduling. Yeah. I think I'm actually seeing more and more of, what we spoke about years ago, see how busy it is, about Industry 4.0.
Yeah.
I didn't fully understand it back then, but now I'm starting to, well, here we go, I'll just talk.
You're seeing the implementation of it a lot more. Do you know what my highlight was?
Go on then. Oh no, what are you going to say?
Winning the table tennis competition in the hotel last night.
No, you did not. He did not. I tell you what, we played table tennis.
And then my highlight for today...
Can I just say, no. He had sweat, face the camera. He had sweat all the way across here yesterday because I won. That's
the price of victory. What I would say the highlight for today is Colin and Lyndsey went the wrong way on the train as well.
We did.
So
we got on the wrong train this morning. Here we go. One of the world premieres.
First world premiere that we looked at. This is the NLX 2500. Now the NLX, this is generation 2, the NLX 2500. We've seen a lot of customer installations with them. In fact, I think it's their most popular selling turning centre, what was the NLX 2500. And this is generation 2, so these machines are about stiffness, rigidity. The cutting demonstration on here is, hard metal machining.
Yeah, you can see some of the example components down here. What are the new features then on this? Sorry, Paul.
So the Gen 2, they've just stiffened up the structure. I think one of the biggest features would be the control system. They've got the latest Siemens control system on here, which has far greater processing speed. They've obviously got their technology cycles on these machines that allow you to do, that make it very, very easy for the customer to program parts. In fact, I was learning yesterday when we were here that you can import a 3D model into the new into their Siemens control here, and it literally creates the program of the part as well. So, it's not just about the machine; it's about all of the software and the control system.
It is. They talk a lot about technology cycles. DMG MORI do, especially like your gear skiving.
They do.
Look how busy this is. Can we just really appreciate how exciting it is to be in industry right now with everybody here busy looking at these machines.
And yeah, it's very hard to get to all of these machines at the moment, but we will have videos coming to our channel over the coming weeks where we've gone into great detail about the machines that we're looking at. I'm going to ask you a question. Sorry. What do you think, how many turrets and how many spindles are in that, what you class as a very compact machine
I'm sure
behind
it's
us? Let's get the camera this way if we can.
2 spindles, 2 turrets. Look at the size. Look how tiny this machine is. 2 spindles, 2 turrets. Am I right?
2 spindles, 2 turrets on this machine. But the footprint on the machine is very small. Often DMG MORI bring new machines to market that might have predecessors and they replace existing models and existing technologies. But this machine is here to plug a gap that they feel at the moment they don't have a machine of a similar nature to this, with 2 turrets and 2 spindles of this compact size that's extremely affordable to the marketplace. So this is, one of the 5 world premieres.
It's the size here.
That's
the size.
It's the size and capability. And actually, in asking the guys yesterday, the top turret on that machine has got 16 stations and the bottom 12. And never underestimate how much of an advantage it is to obviously have more tools on a turret. Yes. So to have 16 stations on the top turret gives you more tools and more working capacity, and more flexibility.
Talking
pretty busy
getting
here.
Components off in once. Right, okay, the CLX 550 TC, I mean, just look, this is
another
wonderful.
world premiere, this CLX 550.
Should we try and get cameraman Chris into
You've got
there?
a lot of capacity between centres.
Oh, excuse
You've
me.
got
the size of this.
a lot of capacity between the centres there. You've got this this milling head here, this B-axis head, which is actually 350 millimetres in height, which is so compact. You've got a tool changer on this machine as well. So the idea here again is one-hit machining, is multitasking. They had a the CLX 450, and this is the bigger version of the 450, now up to the 550. But look at the distance between centres. Look at the size of the second spindle on this machine. We spoke about stiffness, rigidity, chunky machine on the LLX. Of course, this for a bigger machine has got the same characteristics. Let's move this way. This is
I think you can't underestimate these small improvements make a big difference for a lot of companies. These minor improvements, just adding something in the X, adding something in the Y, and then.
Well, this is, machining transformation. We talk about automation. All of these machines we look at has got that automation element to it. Whether it's a second spindle, whether it's being able to, you'll see here, have a WH cell on a machine. So you're changing pallets, changing workstations. This is a 5-axis machining centre. So everything is about trying to get all of these processes onto a machine.
Stay there. What are you enjoying about standing here right now? I've never been to a show, but on the floor, the air conditioner.
Wow. You wouldn't believe how warm it is actually in here today. And this
want to find Paul, just find him over here. The air conditioning.
I like heat, but not as much as there is in this hall at the moment. But
Absolutely.
Process integration is about...
The cameraman's like, oh, hello.
You'll have machining centres that are capable of turning, and they're capable of grinding, and they're capable of gear skiving. Then you'll have turning centres that are capable of milling and capable of grinding. So it's really about finding, I suppose, what the core element of your machining process is, and then selecting the right model or the right machine around it.
And maximising that machine.
Yes.
There's another world premiere here as well. The autonomous.
So the AGVs. This is clever, isn't it? This is sort of real.
This is what we dreamt of when I first started at MTD. Something like this was, I don't know if you agree watching this, but it was my imagination. It was like, can you imagine getting a component, moving it across the machine shop, taking it to another machine, and it was almost like a vision, and now it's happening before our eyes.
It is, and this allows you to just keep a machine running, unmanned for, we're not just talking hours, but we're talking, days, weeks. You can obviously change your pallets here that are being changed. You've got your storage of racking system for all your other working tables.
That's where your operator can have the changeover.
Exactly, and you've got multiple parts actually on that cube there anyway. So you've got a lot of components there, but then you can obviously change here where you've got additional fixtures, and they'll all be loaded into the machine. They can go into different machines.
Different machines,
It's total process integration, as we say. Excuse me, sorry.
Also, one of the 4 pillars is sustainability, and up at the top here it's green transformation. Talking about being sustainable, actually producing the machines. When we went to Fronton, they talked a lot about solar panels, and also you'll see the green symbol on the top, because nowadays everyone has to prove that they're net zero and everything like that. You can see on a lot of the machines they've got so much awareness.
And in their technology cycles, I was looking the other week, I was actually having a demonstration by one of the guys in the UK, and you can actually see how much power you're using in one of the technology cycles, or on the interface of the machine, which allows you to know how much it's costing you. And all of these things are really important to know how much, not just how much the machine costs you to buy, but how much it's going to cost you
to run,
to keep running.
Yeah.
And the sustainability element of these 4 pillars that we talk about here is, one of the 4 important, pillars.
So yesterday I mentioned about career opportunities, didn't I? Just to briefly cover on that, because like I've said before, they are pioneers in the industry. There's an area where they sponsor sailing boats, don't they? And there's an area over there where they've got an academy, DMG MORI. So it's definitely, there's people here to talk to young people coming through and want to get into industry. That's quite an important thing that they want to get across as well.
It is, and this show for them here in Europe, as you were talking to Harold Noyne yesterday, it's a really, really important fixture in the company's diary, isn't it? I mean, it's obviously at the heart of the operation in Germany. All of their stands generally are always busy at shows, but this one has been exceptionally busy today.
The marketing lady said to us before we started this one, just make sure it looks busy. We were like, have you seen the stand? It's crazy, but wonderful at the same time.
Absolutely rammed.
Yeah, go on. No, you round off.
No, I was going to say, so if you are still coming to the A&B show, this of course is in Hall 10. This is a stand you must come on. You can see the latest in multitasking technology, turning centres, horizontal 5-axis machining centres, pallet systems, automation. There is so much here to actually see. Even additive manufacturing as well, we cannot forget that as part of their mix. I've
got a final question for you before we finish this off. So who did win the table tennis last night, Paul? Paul, who did win?
Who did miss the train this morning?
No, I didn't get told about the train. We did go on the wrong way on the train, but who won at table tennis last night?
Me.
I won. Anyway, thanks for this.
Thanks for watching.